Testing, testing. Heavenly Father, I'd like to thank you, and I'd like to thank you for everyone that you sent to my channel who's watching my videos today. And I pray, Lord, that you will inspire them, that they would catch the vision, and that they will experience increase in every area of their lives. I pray that you would give them the wisdom and understanding they need to be a profitable trader, that they will be disciplined. They'll in all their need, in everything they need to learn, they'll get here about learning the Nasdaq E-minis and and how to trade the Nasdaq successfully and create a prosperity for themselves and for their families, increase their income. Lord, I pray that they will share these videos with others so that people around the world can be encouraged, can learn about trading, can be educated and empowered with the wisdom about Nasdaq E-minis tradings. Let every one of my lessons bring valuable insight to them, cause them to open up their eyes of their understanding and to grow and to improve, to get encouraged, and to increase more and more. Father, I pray they become generous supporters of the kingdom of light throughout the earth, and they'll be givers of their local communities and churches, for they can support those in their communities. I pray, Father, as they're blessed, they'll be a blessing to others. I pray, Father, those that have need the means to purchase this course will have the ability to buy the complete course. I pray that you would make a way for them to do so, and that they will study the course diligently and apply what I teach them in the lessons. I pray, Father, all their needs right now are met. I pray their income will increase year after year, and that they may walk in your wisdom. They would walk in your peace. They will remain free from financial stress and worries. And I ask that you provide them all the resources they need for themselves and their family on a daily basis. As they learn how to trade more effectively, as they apply the things that I teach in my video series and the principles and the strategies taught in this course, I pray that their trading account would grow as a result of their understanding and wisdom and their confidence along with it. I declare these things by faith. I believe and receive them with thanksgiving. Father, I thank you. I praise you. I glorify you. I do this in the name of Jesus. And for those who are watching the video, share your appreciation. I appreciate if you buy me a cup of coffee. There's a link in this description, and just show your support for me in that channel as I bring this content to you. So let's get started. We're going to talk about part 3 of reading tape. And if you've seen the other few videos, you've seen when I made this entry. Right now, price is consolidating, and I need to put a stop here. But I'm not worried about this small drawdown. Now you might say, why are you not worried about that small drawdown? Let me show you why, because let's show you what I've done so far today. I'm already up $337 in the first few hours of the market. So if I gave up another $100, I'm still up $500 for a few hours. So that's why you see that that has not been closed out yet. I'm gonna give it some more time before it continues to the upside. And if it doesn't, if it goes down to $100, I'll just get out of the trade and be happy with making $500 in 3 hours or less. So now in this video, we're talking about reading the price, where I shared a little bit with you about equal highs and lows. I highlighted that area, and which is back here, right? We annotated the chart, which is very important. Price may come all the way down here to retest this area, which people would call a support area, a resistance area, blah, 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 right? So I'm going to go back to this area, and I'm going to make a change, because I think I've done this on a 15-minute chart. And since we're in a lower time frame, I'm just going to kind of fine tune it there. Now, in this video, I'm going to introduce to you and remind others about what the price does. Price does 3 things every single day. It goes up, it goes down, and right now we see it moving sideways. Some people will call it a channel. Some people would call it a range. Some people would call it consolidation. Either way, it's an area where price just doesn't want to break out of a certain range. So I identified that range from this swing low to that swing high, and that's where we seem to be staying within this one price leg. That's a pullback, right? And it's just moving along real slowly. I'm anticipating it going up here, so this is where I want to get out of the trade. If it allows me to go there, I'm willing to let it go down a little further. But one I'm going to talk about right now in this video that I didn't talk about in previous videos are important for you to understand when you learn how to read price. Price always gives you signatures. So when you look at different candlestick patterns, there's certain behaviors that happen every single day. You have something like this I'm about to identify to you. We have this wick right here was taken out by that wick, and it left a signature right here, and this one signature is called a fair value gap. From this wick's high to that wick's low is a fair value gap. And this is the first presented fair value gap after liquidity has been taken, which means this particular one is stronger because we had a big push up in price after this level of area liquidity was taken out. So this is a first presented fair value gap after this high was taken out. This candle took out that wicks high. There were some stop orders there. There was some liquidity there. And once that was taken out, price went back down. It went down, created a fair value gap, and then it jumped right back higher. Now here's another fair value gap, but that one's not as strong as the first one. The first presented fair value gap is typically the strongest one. You should make a note of that. Now, see, now that we have this area identified, price may want to return to this area. And if it does return to this area, there's a name for that as well. That would be I'll do that. So it would be the first presented fair value gap. Now, if it comes below this area and retests this fair value gap slash support area and closes below that, it then becomes an inversion fair value gap. But it has to close below it and stay below that area. And the next area it might come to retest was this area of liquidity here, or another fair value gap here to here. That would be another area where price may want to retest. Again, this is the first presented fair value gap as well. Why? Because this area here took out these liquidity there, and it went to the midpoint or the 50% area there and pushed right up. But once these wicks got taken out, it becomes another first. A first presented fair value gap is always one that's going to be taking out liquidity to the left. So it makes it a little stronger because those were orders where a lot of orders were placed. You have an order block here. If this was a 3-minute chart, this one candle, these three candles would be one single candle. It'll be a bearish engulfing candle. Let me show you. Let me just go to a 3-minute chart. Okay, so we see here it is right here. This is a bear. It's not a bearish engulfing. It's what they call a dark cloud cover. This one's a dark cloud cover, and then we have a doji here, and that's the power of 3, 1, 2, 3 reversal patterns. In my course, I teach you how to recognize those. So consider getting the full course. You'll get a whole lot more, and you can take your time and go through the full course. It's hours of videos. You're just getting a snapshot in time of some of the content that's available for free. Just buy me a cup of coffee. There should be a link in the description. Show your love and appreciation for me, because it takes me time out of my day to record these videos, and I just hope you appreciate that. Just buy me a cup of coffee if you can't afford to buy the whole course. So now we're talking about price, but we're really in this series thinking about reading the tape. Reading the tape is simply watching price action, sees how it's developing, right? We talked about this order block down here before, right? We talked about a fair value gap. I introduced you to those. I introduced that term to some of you guys and reminded some of the others who may have known about that term. So we know right here, and this is on another 15-minute time frame, we're in a range on a 15-minute chart. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. And we're in this price range and leg. It's also called an order flow, but we're still right here. Let me get rid of this real fast. Remove that. Now we're in, open that up, this area. Oh, looks like it's breaking down to the downside. I'm willing to let this go to $100, but I just changed my mind. Uh, I'm gonna tell you what's making me pause. Honestly, I'm gonna show you this wick right here, this area, and if it goes beyond that 50% line, which is it is there now, I'm not gonna let it stay 15 minutes. I'm gonna go down to the lower time frame, and I'm looking for a reversal pattern here. And if I don't get a reversal pattern here in the next two bars, I'll close this transaction. Now, what is a reversal pattern? Well, you need to learn that, and that's taught in my course. So consider getting a full course, or you can look it up online. But there's have different forms of reversal patterns. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here because I don't see that reversal pattern forming yet. And if it closes below that, I don't see the form I want. So I'm gonna go ahead and close. My goal was to let this to go to $100, but I just changed my mind. So I'll keep extra $40 in the account, and we'll just place a limit order. Let's see. I'm gonna place a buy stop order. Well, I'm not gonna even focus on the orders. I'm gonna focus on teaching you price action. So now you guys see me close a trade. I was in drawdown. It didn't go in the direction I wanted to right away. I was a little impatient, and that's okay. So that makes me up $569 today for the last few hours, and I'm happy with making $500 in 3 hours. And I won't trade no more today. I'll just focus on other matters. Now I see the three bar reversal on the 30-second chart. If it closes there, that'll be great. Then that would just mean I should have waited and not operate in fear. But at the same time, it's always good to preserve your capital. So you want to protect your assets first. That's one of the rules of trading. Always protect your money. Always have a stop loss in place, or one mentally, where you're willing to get out of if the price doesn't move in the direction you was hoping for. Because trading is risky. And if you're trading with money you cannot afford to lose, I recommend that you practice first until you make your improvements and adjustments where you need to understand how to read price before you try to work with either a live account, or even have purchase a combine or a some type of challenge. There's a lot of prop firms out there today, and you can get money from them, but you need to prove to them you can manage money and manage your trades and become profitable, and they all have their own rules. I don't have one firm over another that I would recommend, but there's plenty of them out there. But again, so now we're seeing another rally. We're seeing another move in price, and now we're seeing, let's see, we see a reversal up here. Where's my other little shape thing? I had a shape thing I would use. Where's that little shape? I'll use the arc. Okay, so using the arc, and it's right here. We're going to identify a swing high, right? Reversal pattern. And since then, it hasn't returned. Here we have a swing low. We have a lower low. Come on, thing. Lower low, right? And I'll do that. Identify that area. And now we're just developing another one here. And I've already gotten out of this trade, so I'm not subconsciously thinking about, oh, I wish I would have stayed in the trade, because you have to deal with fear and your emotions when trading. Some people like to have mechanical rules in place, or indicators to help them remove their emotions and fear out of trading, but um, it's both good and bad. So the most important thing you want to do is always protect your money. You always want to preserve your capital. You should always know how much you're willing to risk in every trade, and you should never overtrade. So I'm not going to trade no more today. I'm happy with what I booked today, uh, only because of the time of day, really. If you look at the bottom of the screen here, it's 11:54 a.m., almost lunchtime in Pacific Standard Time. Today is the beginning of the month, and I'm happy with a few hours worth of trading I did today. So I'll worry about the London Open, which is at a different time frame, time zone, like 3 a.m. in the morning here. That's when the London opens. Let's see what time it is now in London. Right now it's almost 8 p.m. in London. I like to trade the New York Open and I like to trade the London Open. So there's some times of the day that I like and prefer to trade. We're about to be entering to a different area of time of the day, and that's going to be the Asian session. I don't typically trade the Asian session because if I haven't made my money by the morning, I'll just wait till the London session, which is later in the evening, or wait till the next day's market open. So that's when I make time to do videos like I'm doing for you now. And this video, we're talking about reading the tape with some commentary, right? So we identified some swing areas. Here's a swing high, here's a swing low. We have a double top right here. We got the rejection from here. Now we have a pattern that shows me a potential reversal. And but it just came outside that range and just expanded a little further. We also have a retail type trend line that it seemed to have touched because we are moving in a uptrend, right? So this is simply a pullback in price. Now this is a good area where I could take another trade, but I'm done trading for the day. I'm in teach mode right now, and we're talking about reading the tape and me identifying some areas. As you learn how to trade, you should be watching yourself and getting familiar with how price moves. Again, as I mentioned in the other videos, price does the same thing every single day. It does three things. It moves up, it comes down, and it consolidates. So what we're waiting for is a breakout in the area where it's currently consolidating or ranging or stalling, whatever term you want to use. Because like I'm going to show you here, it says consolidation, wait until the breakout. So I have that in my notes. So when I'm trading, it reminds me what I should be doing. It broke out to the south side. It broke out short, but I consider that really on a 1 minute time frame. I consider it a false breakout, only because we're in a bullish trend. So all those things comes together, and you'll learn more and more as you watch a lot more of my videos or buy the whole course. I do appreciate you buying me a cup of coffee. Show your appreciation and support for the channel and myself. You can buy the entire course. There's a lot of videos in there, and I talk about a whole lot more than what you're getting out of this short little video. And besides, you cannot cover it all in one day. When you got your degree, when you was in college, when you was in high school, you had multiple classes that you had to take, and that's going to be true in your trading education and journey. You're not going to get it all in one day, so don't overthink it. Don't think you got to get it now because you're eager, you want to study. I want you to study properly. I want to make sure you remember things. I want to give you a little bit at a time. In each module in my course builds on the other. All right, look at price. Had I not got out of that other trade, and out of fear, right, I would be still in that trade. Let me see. Let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna go to my settings. I'm gonna go to chart data, and I'm gonna say show executions. So if you didn't realize when I got in or when I got out, me showing you the executions will tell you exactly where and when. Okay, waiting for the data to pull up. Waiting for the data. There we go. Okay, so you see I went long here. I think I took a little profit, but I got out of that trade here, right? Had I not gotten out of that trade, I'll be in profit right now. Or actually, I'll be almost a break even, but pretty close to break even. But on this 1 minute time frame, guess what? We're still consolidating. We broke out to the downside. We retested the prior support from this other area of liquidity. I have another video on liquidity zones, and we just hit a liquidity zone, and price bounced off that. So now what I'm really looking at is for it to break to the upside. I have something called, I'm going to put this here, that I'm going to introduce to you guys that are new. Break of structure, market structure shift, change in character. So all three of those terms are used on the internet, and I'm going to introduce you all as one. So I would move into a buy here once it breaks these highs here. Until then, I'll just wait. So if I was to place a limit order, it would be above this. Let me know the price is going to continue to the upside, and I wouldn't take a trade until then. Now, there's another point of view where people use a different strategy, and that strategy is called, and I teach it, the order flow strategy. So let me clean this. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna clean this chart up real fast. Remove all drawings. Okay, I'm waiting for you, computer. Waiting for you, computer. Okay, I'll do the object treated. Well, let me do this. I want to remove all drawings. Remove drawings. Just remove. Okay, now I want to remove the areas, the charts, the executions. I want a clean chart here. Again, in this video, we're talking about reading the tape. And I'm going to share something with you right now, which is a strategy that's often, I thought I removed all drawings. Oh my goodness. Remove all drawings. Yes. Okay. Now there's another strategy that I teach, and it would look something like this. And I would say, yeah, okay, we're right at a good point. Yeah, I would get back into a trade right now. I really would. You know, I'm in a discount area. I'm not in the premium array. Uh, then I'll double check myself and I'll say, well, was that the right area to put this Fibonacci? That's your impulse leg. So I got the impulse leg a little deeper, and I see an area where in some cases I will take a buy trade here. But in this video, we're talking about reading price. So price is telling me right now it's almost a time to swing because A, we got two confirmations. I see relative equal lows right here, which is also known as a double bottom. I see that it reached the 50% area, but we're still in a premium in a sense, but it kind of peaked out at premium, but I'm not going to make a trade. I would probably look for a deeper pullback down to the 625 or the 75. In order for me to determine if I want to go short here, I would look for any inefficiency to the left because we still have a sell side imbalance or a sissy, and that would be here to kind of do some balance pricing on the lower time frame like this. And this would be an area well, may also want to place a limit order. But it looks like we might get a push up and continue to in the momentum of the higher time frame momentum. Sorry, you guys, I am human. I am not a bot. Um, so reading price is something you have to get used to, something you have to practice, and something you just have to. I recommend you go on the lower time frame to learn. It shows up the same way in every time frame, but to quickly identify different areas in price, I recommend starting on the lower time frame because it's going to do the same thing on every time frame. On higher time frames, the candles are just representing more minutes. For example, we're on a 1 minute time frame. If we went to a 15-minute time frame, each candle just represents 15 minutes. But price is still price. So, okay, so once we get a close above, I think I mentioned to you earlier, I called it something else. Now I'm looking at this area here, and I would annotate that area. This is the area right here. I would be watching a break of structure, market structure shift, change in character. I would label that area, and this is be an area where I might consider getting back into a long position. And also, then I'll be assessing where we are, and I'll start here. And I said, okay, so this is an area where price is consolidating, ranging, not really going either direction, a time where you would pause in price. Now, you also, as you learn how to trade, you're also going to have to consider the time of the day that you're trading. right now for me, it's really not a good time for me to be trading. So I'm not going to take any other trades. And you'll learn that, and you'll learn more as you get familiar with reading the tape, and as you start to pay attention to the time. As you start to pay attention to the time of the day, you'll realize there's some times of the day you should be step away from your charts and go do something else for the day. Well, that's it for this video. I thank you again for listening. I hope I brought some value to you. Again, watch this video as many times as you like. Please subscribe to the channel. Help me grow the channel. And show your support by buying me a cup of coffee. I greatly appreciate it for me, spending time sharing with you and recording this type of stuff. I really appreciate it. And if you can't do it, that's fine too, because I am going to make my money. But, I like to give away things. I like to support families in different places of the world, and I get it from the market. And I want to have a good life. And in order for me to have a good life, it's important for me to help people have a good life for themselves too. So that's why I'm recording some of these videos to help others. It's not just about me. But I do appreciate your time. Show your love. Buy me a cup of coffee. I appreciate it. The link's in the description. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, enjoy your blessed day.